So it's a beautiful, sunny winter afternoon, and I'm at, as you would have guessed, I'm at the Cambrian Hall campus. This is our first podcast that I'm recording at the campus of Cambrian Hall. Yes, I am standing outside Judha Block, and today's podcast is with a very popular Cambrianite, somebody who had a unique distinction of being a student and a teacher of Cambrian Hall. Yes, you might have guessed it right. Mr. K.K. Aggarwal, who started his tenure as a student way back in 1963. Yes, as a student here, and then went on to also teach for over 40 years. So overall a total of over 60 years of tenure in Cambrian Hall. I don't think there would be anybody, any Cambrianite who would have such a unique experience. In this podcast that I've just recorded, he tells us the history of Cambrian Hall. Of course, the initial days of Cambrian Hall, some wonderful, hilarious episodes with Ma'am Jagbala, which I think you will love it. He also tells his relationship with his friends, teachers, and how this the era has changed, the student-teacher relationship that has changed in the last 40 years of his teaching. I'm sure all of you would love it. Of course, we also talk about his tenure as a NCC in charge in Cambrian Hall. So I can't wait, all of you, to watch this. So please watch it. And don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel of Cambrian Hall, Cambrian Hall Alumni Association.
The world runs on digital conversations, and we enable simple, secure, and fast digital conversations for credit unions and community banks with our AI-powered unified platform, trusted by 600+ community financial institutions, to communicate seamlessly across multiple channels from a single window. Interested to know more? Visit eltropy.com today.
So thank you very much, Eltropy, for your kind gesture. And Cambrianites, do what you do the best. Please share this with all your fellow Cambrianites, your friends. I'm sure you will enjoy it. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, sir. How are you doing?
I'm fine.
Sir, I must tell you, this is such a wonderful pleasure for me. A, I am in my Cambrian Hall campus.
Oh, very good.
B, I'm wearing a school dress.
Oh, very nice.
And C, one of the most favorite teacher for so many, Mr. KK Aggarwal,
Oh,
sir.
so nice.
And also in the backdrop of Judha Block.
Oh,
you know?
very nice.
Yeah.
And
this
reminds me that as if I'm taking the class, in same class, 6, it used to be 6
yes,
D.
6A, mine was 6A.
Yours was 6A. Mrs. Penuli.
Yes, that's right.
Mrs.
Was my class
Penuli
teacher.
was your class teacher.
Yes,
So
yes.
I was teaching in that class.
Yes, you remember. Okay, so let's start. You've taught us history, right?
Yeah.
In the junior school.
History as well as geography.
Yes, and geography.
Huh.
But I would start with, tell us about the history of Cambrian, and I think there wouldn't be any better person than you to tell us the history of Cambrian Hall.
See, before joining Cambrian Hall, I was admitted just only for few months in a cantonment primary school
Okay.
in Gadi.
Okay.
Just for few months, so that the father would get an impression that he would be happy that he has learned to walk, sit, and go independently.
Okay.
Then in January 1963,
Okay.
my father says that I'm going to admit you in an English medium school. I said, I have no knowledge about English and you want me to admit me in English medium school?
Okay.
How will I converse in English? I don't know English at all. I'm not admitting you in class 8 or 10. I'm admitting you in KG.
Okay.
So you will be taught the basics. Gradually you will learn. But I was very frightened, let me tell you.
Okay.
Hearing the name of this institution,
Okay.
I was very frightened.
Okay.
Somehow, you know, I was reluctant to come because by 6 months I had spent in cantonment
Okay.
primary school.
Okay.
So I got used to that environment.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what kind of environment would be in this school, whether I'll be able to accommodate myself or not,
Okay.
and whether things would work out. So I was reluctant, but my father insisted. He said, "No, you have to join Cambrian Hall."
Okay.
So
So you said 1963.
yeah.
So we're talking like 61 years back.
yeah.
Wow.
So he told me that you have to. I said, okay. Now, a day, I don't remember the exact date of my interview because he brought me to the founder principal of Cambrian Hall, Mrs. Ma'am Mainwaring.
Okay.
Now, see, I had I didn't know how to conduct myself.
Okay.
No courtesy. I just
Okay.
saw a ball in front of the office. I started playing with that ball.
Okay.
Ma'am said, Ma'am Mainwaring, she was alive. She said, "Look, you come and sit here. I want to ask you some few questions."
Okay.
I got frightened. She spoke to me in English.
Uh-huh.
I didn't understand a single word, and that's what I was frightened of.
Okay.
I said, "Ma'am, if you talk to me in Hindi, आप हिंदी में बात करोगे तो I can answer.
Okay.
English I don't know." He said, "Okay, आपका क्या नाम है?"
Okay.
मैंने मेरा नाम कृष्ण कुमार अग्रवाल.
Okay.
All this was taught to me in
Okay.
advance.
Okay.
आप क्या खेलते हैं?
Uh-huh.
So I didn't say football. I just pointed out my finger to that ball. I play football.
Okay.
अच्छा, कोई बात नहीं, आपको फुटबॉल भी देंगे खेलने के लिए. Then she opened her drawer and she gave me two, what do we call?
Marbles?
No, not marbles. Those sweets.
Oh, sweets.
Kind of bad.
I thought you were talking about the ball, so maybe she said, I'll give you some marbles.
No, it wasn't that. So she took out that.
Okay.
Then I didn't even know to say thank you to her.
Okay.
So she said, "Want to say thank you?"
Okay.
So I said, "Thank you, ma'am." No, in those days we used to call auntie.
Auntie. Correct.
thank-
I've heard this from
Yeah.
other seniors as
Yeah.
well.
So I said, "Thank you, auntie."
Okay.
Okay. Then she asked me, "Do you know any song?"
Uh-huh.
मैंने कहा, "I don't know any song in English,
Okay.
but I can sing
In Hindi.
in Hindi."
Okay.
But I don't remember what I sang, but I just sang only 2 or 3 lines.
Okay. Interesting.
हाँ. Then she asked me, "Which color do you like?" कौन सा आपको रंग अच्छा लगता है? In Hindi, because I didn't know English, I was not understanding. So I said, "I like green color."
Okay.
आपको green क्यों अच्छा लगता है?
हाँ.
मैंने green has a soothing effect.
Uh-huh.
बहुत अच्छा, मतलब in Hindi only, because this interview was held in Hindi.
Okay.
To be very frank with you, because I didn't know a word of English.
Okay.
Yeah, because my admission was, in KG. Achha, in those days, where today you find mother graduate, father also graduate. In those days, education was also
Correct.
limited.
Yes. Yes.
So I said, okay. और तो बाबा, she said, "बाबा,
हाँ.
बाबा आपको यहाँ पर डिसिप्लिन से रहना पड़ेगा."
अच्छा.
हाँ.
Okay.
जैसे आपने आया मेरा ऑफिस में और बॉल को देखा और बॉल से आप खेलने लग गया,
हाँ.
ऐसे नहीं करना है.
Okay.
ऐसे ठीक है आंटी, हम नहीं करेंगे.
Okay.
But then she asked a few questions from my dad.
Okay.
So he was a approved British Army canteen contractor.
Okay.
तो कहने लगे कि आप इनको घर में आप कैसे इनका पढ़ाई का देखभाल करेंगे?
Okay.
Who, because this was the most important thing they used to ask.
Okay. Okay.
So we will arrange for a tuition
Okay.
also to help the child out in difficult subjects. And but I'm very keen in getting my son admitted in Cambrian Hall.
Okay.
So this is how I got admitted.
Okay.
Then my 2 cousins,
Uh-huh.
sons of my father's brother,
Uh-huh.
my uncle's sons. उसने कहा, how come that this boy is going to Cambrian Hall?
Uh-huh.
Why not me? Why not my son?
Okay.
Why not my son?
Okay.
This will not be fair. Then next day my father came running
Okay.
to the.
So you had a joint family?
Yeah, joint
Okay.
family.
Okay.
So
Fair enough.
my father came running
Yeah.
to the founder principal
Uh-huh.
and said that I'm sorry to bother you.
Uh-huh.
My son has appeared, but my two brothers are annoyed with you.
Oh.
He said they also wanted their sons to be
Okay.
admitted in Cambrian Hall.
Okay.
So he said, all right. So we'll tell you on what date they have to come, but bring both of them together.
Okay.
In fact, you should have brought all three of them together. So I said, anyway, I'll bring.
Okay.
So the day was fixed by her,
Okay.
and both of them had come. But that day I did not come because I don't know why. I told my father. I said, I want to go. Can no, you will not go. Maybe because
You might start playing.
absolutely, absolutely right.
Okay.
He said you will not go.
Okay.
So these two boys were also admitted, but I do not know what sort of interview was held. These two same questions, but they were also given admission.
Okay.
So all three of us were given admission.
Wow. And were you
Then-
all in the same class?
Yes, we were all in the same class.
Okay. Nice.
Then my neighbor,
Uh-huh.
now this talk was going on. My neighbor started, feeling jealous.
It almost sounds like कि घर पे ये वाला TV आया तो everybody wants the same TV.
Absolutely. So my
So
neighbor,
going to Cambrian Hall was a prestigious
yes,
thing.
very
Okay.
prestigious. There were just only 7 institutions in Dehradun
Wow.
that time.
Okay.
Doon School,
Mm-hmm.
Cambrian Hall, St. Joseph's,
St. Thomas.
St. Thomas's,
Yeah.
Convent of Jesus and
maybe
Mary,
Carmel.
Brown Cambridge School,
Okay.
and I think one more.
Common.
Yeah, Brightlands. No,
No,
not
wouldn't.
Brightlands.
Common.
Yeah, right, you're right. So these were 7 institutions.
Okay.
Achha, then my neighbor, they said, look, so and so sons are going to Cambrian Hall from next month.
Okay.
And what about our children?
Okay.
So the mother of of those children spoke to their father.
Uh-huh.
He said, no problem. I will go and get these 2 boys also admitted in the same school.
Okay. So they also joined your class.
They also joined.
Oh wow.
One was senior. One had joined in 3rd.
Okay.
And the other one was with us.
Okay. Okay.
So he said, he came and again spoke to me because that time the institution was only up to class 5.
Oh. Okay. Okay.
Those so
Just a junior school.
Yeah, it was junior school.
Okay.
So Mrs. Mainwaring interviewed those boys
Okay.
also.
Okay.
Then he gave a reference. He said, you have already 3 of us are coming
Okay.
from our neighborhood.
Okay.
He said, who are those who have just interviewed last week only?
Okay.
And this is how. So all 5 of us, we used
Okay.
to come together to Cambrian Hall.
Oh wow.
Then, there were 3 more.
Huh.
3 more. One happened to be an army personnel son.
Okay.
And one, towards this Nimbuwala road, RMC road, there was a Bisht family.
Okay.
So those Bisht family, there were about 7 or 8 people
Okay.
from those Bisht family. So we used to all gather near the cantonment park.
Okay.
And then 15 of us,
Wow.
we used to come together.
It's almost like a mohalla going
Yeah,
to the same school.
All of us used to come to Cambrian Hall.
Okay. Brilliant.
Sheila Bisht, she
Okay.
happened to be my class fellow,
Okay.
right up to class 11.
Oh, lovely.
And Sheila Bisht, now she happens to be the mother-in-law of Mahendra Singh Dhoni.
Oh,
Yeah,
awesome. Oh, okay. That's interesting.
yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So her daughter,
So Sakshi.
Sheila's, yes,
Sakshi Dhoni.
Sheila's daughter,
Yeah.
Sakshi, is married to Mahendra Singh Dhoni.
Okay. So did you attend the marriage?
Well, it was a
Very
family
close
wedding.
affair.
Family wedding only, and very close people were.
But are you in touch?
Once I had.
Okay.
Once.
So now we can all flaunt and say that even Mahendra Singh Dhoni has a Dehradun connection.
Yes.
Cambrian Hall connection.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes. Ex-Cambrianites.
Okay. So she was your
husband.
class teacher.
No,
Sorry,
no,
your
my
batchmate.
classmate. Yeah,
batchmate all
Classmate.
throughout.
Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. So now, as we just talking about the classmates, so let's talk more about your school days, right? I'm going to say a few names and tell us what do you remember about them. Mrs. Butlerwhite, Mr. Tuck, Mr. Shanti Swarup,
Yeah.
Mr. Nigam,
Yes.
and any other teacher that you remember
I'll
from
tell
that
you.
time.
Yeah.
So tell us.
Should I start from
yes,
the KG?
Anyone.
Should I start from the KG?
Yeah, it's up to you. You decide. You tell us.
See, when I joined in KG class,
Uh-huh.
Late now she's no more.
Yeah.
Miss Jagbala Singh.
Oh.
She was my class teacher.
Oh.
And you won't believe it. She took so much of pains and efforts to write 8. I didn't know how to write 8. I used to write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I used to get stuck at 8. He said, Charm, what is the problem? I spoke in Hindi. हमको 8 बनाना नहीं आता है. I left out 8, but I did 9, 10, 11. Up to 1 to 15 we had to write.
Okay.
In those days.
Okay.
So I wrote 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8 I left it because I didn't know. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 I wrote. Right? So she said, क्या दिक्कत है? आपने इतना अच्छा 1 से लेके 15 तक लिखा, 8 क्यों छोड़ दिया? आता नहीं? I spoke in Hindi. Ma'am, हमको नहीं आता. Auntie, हमको नहीं आता. Then she made me sit on her lap.
Okay.
And she made 1 0 on top.
Okay.
Then underneath another 0.
Okay.
ये तो कर सकते हैं आप. This is 8.
Okay.
This is how I learned to write 8
Wow.
in KG class.
Wow.
I still remember.
Beautiful. Okay.
So Miss Jagbala Singh was the class teacher.
Okay.
Mrs. Queenie Barnes, in the last period there used to be a combined singing period.
Okay.
So Ma'am Queenie, Auntie Queenie Barnes' class,
Okay.
Ma'am Jagbala, Auntie Jagbala's class, and Auntie Rita Hensman.
Okay.
These 3 classes we used to all join together for the singing. And you know who used to come for the singing?
No.
Ma'am Ma'am Mainwaring.
Oh.
She used to take the singing class.
Wow. Okay.
So this was my KG class days.
Okay.
Then I came to class 1.
Uh-huh.
Class 1 is where the present, the principal's residence, I mean, where now school president is living.
Yeah.
These used to be classes.
Okay.
1A, 1B, 1C.
Okay.
So I was in Mrs. Cameron's class.
Okay.
So she was my class teacher.
Okay.
I don't remember exactly whether she was Mrs. or Miss.
Okay.
So,
but you would call them auntie, right?
Yeah, we used to call Auntie Cameron.
Okay.
So Auntie Cameron was my class teacher in class 1.
Okay.
She taught all the subjects except Hindi. Hindi was taught by Miss Shobha.
Okay.
Ma'am Shobha. That much only I remember. She was a very old woman. In class 1 I'm talking about. Then I came to class 2, where the present Judha Block is.
Oh.
There used to be 3 sections only. 2A, 2B, 2C.
So this Judha Block that we see, we had class 2 over there.
Yeah, only class 2. And there were 3 sections.
Okay.
Parallel to each other. 2A, 2B, 2C. So my class teacher was, in 2, Miss Ahmed, sister of Mrs. Matloob.
Oh. Ma'am Matloob taught us as well.
Now she's no more.
Yeah, I know.
So she was my class teacher.
Okay.
Then, after passing from class 2 there, then in 68, I believe, this Butler Block came into existence.
Acha.
So 3A, it didn't come into existence, it was under construction.
Okay.
So I did class 3.
Okay.
Class 3, her elder sister was my class teacher.
Okay.
Then 4, in class 4 at present, where that this Shashi Block is.
Acha. Okay. Shashi Block.
Shashi Block. Just behind the dining hall.
Acha.
We used to have 4A, 4B, 4C.
Okay.
So I was in class 4C.
Okay.
So 4C, Mrs. Joseph.
Okay.
Yeah, Mrs. Yeah.
Is the same Ma'am Indra Joseph?
No.
Okay.
Mrs. Yeah, Mrs. I'm forgetting. In class 4, C, she was my class teacher.
Okay.
And Hindi, Mrs. There was a teacher who, Mrs. Rawat, Miss Rawat or Miss Rawat, she used to come and teach Hindi in class 4.
Okay.
Yeah. Then class 5, no, she was not Joseph, Mrs. Gardner.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Mrs. Gardner.
Okay.
Then in class 5, Mrs. Butlerwhite became my class teacher.
Oh, class 5?
Yes.
Ma'am Butlerwhite?
Yes.
Wow.
She was my class teacher. Mr. Shanti Swarup was teaching us social studies.
Okay.
In class 5.
Okay.
And
because I think he was actually an English teacher later on, isn't it?
No, that was the very year he joined.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So the very year he joined. Okay.
That was. Then after passing class 5, Then 6 had come in the Judha Block. So here you have about 6B. Late Mrs. Gideon was my class teacher.
Okay.
So she used to teach us English and maths.
Okay.
And Hindi was taught by Miss Rawat.
Okay.
But then in July when the school reopened, it was taught
Ma'am
by
Kanduri.
Miss Suman Mehra.
Oh, Ma'am Mehra taught us as well Hindi in junior
She
school.
also taught.
Okay.
On the very first day when she joined here,
Ah.
I don't know, I was playing some mischief. The first day, you know, I got a tight slap from
Oh,
her
God.
on my face, which I will never forget in my life. Maybe due to some mischief, which I'm not going to talk to you in front of you. So that was the first slap I got from her
Okay.
on the very first day when the school reopened in July.
Okay. So it was her first day.
Yeah, because she replaced Mrs. Rawat.
Her first day and first slap you
Yes.
got.
Yeah.
So this is exactly the reason you're talking about when Judha Block was being constructed. You're talking about all these teachers starting their first school,
Yeah.
which is exactly what I said. Who would be better than knowing
Yeah,
the history
I'm
of
telling
Cambrian
you.
Hall?
The first, no,
First
most
slap.
of my Mr. Sham Thapa and all, I used to discuss this. तो कहने लगा वो याद है आपको मिस मेहरा का पहला दिन मैंने हाँ अब don't talk about that. Sham Thapa, you know.
I know. Yes.
So she taught us Hindi
Okay.
and the rest of the subject. Late Mrs. Yashoda Harihar Lal.
Okay.
She used to teach us history.
Okay.
And geography was taught by Mrs. I don't know she was married or not. Miss Mann.
Okay.
Yes, Carmen School, you know.
Acha.
So she used to come and teach geography.
Okay.
Then, you know, science was taught by Ma'am, you know, Saxena, Veena Saxena.
Correct. Ma'am Veena Saxena, I happened to speak very recently because of class of 1973.
Yes.
And she's in the one of the WhatsApp group as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She taught us science.
Yes.
Also, she was teaching home science also. Health science. There used to be a subject, health science.
Okay.
Now, nobody knows about health science, but that subject was also taught. in
Health
class.
science?
Yeah, health science.
So what was all that?
That was all about your vital
Fitness.
organs of your body.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, That was all about that.
Okay.
Then I came in class 7.
Okay.
In class 7, Mrs. Butlerwhite was my class teacher.
Acha.
So I was so delighted. I said, how lucky I am.
Okay.
She was my class teacher in 5 and now, you know, these
Yes,
teachers
yes.
were also upgraded.
Yes.
So in class 7, she was my class fellow.
Okay.
Now this time she was teaching English and history.
Acha.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And geography was taught by, you know, Mrs. Gua.
Acha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Hindi was taught by Mrs. Darshan Singh.
She
Her
taught
husband-
us as well. Darshan Singh.
Yes. Mrs. Darshan Singh's husband was in Doon School.
Acha.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So in 8, when I joined, Mr. James Barry
Okay.
was my class teacher.
Okay.
Mr. James Barry. He used to teach us maths.
Wow.
And Hindi was taught by Mrs. You know,
Ma'am
yes.
Kanduri?
No, Ma'am Kanduri taught us in, yes, quite right. No, not Mrs. Kanduri, Mr. Jitendra Sharma.
Acha. Okay.
Then maths was taught by Mr. Kukreja.
Okay.
Science was taught by, physics was taught by Mr. Gurbachan Singh.
Okay.
Chemistry was taught by
PP Singh.
Pritpal Singh. And biology was taught by Ma'am,
Same.
no, not Ma'am Sen. Ma'am Sen came much later.
Okay.
Ma'am Saxena.
Acha. Veena Saxena.
Yeah, Veena Saxena. Then, you know, English, Hindi, maths, science, history, geography, I've told you.
So
Art-
the way you're narrating your teacher's name, it almost sounds like that you just passed out few years back.
Yes.
Now we are talking about like 60, 50 years
Yes,
back.
yes. So,
wow.
no, but you know, I keep remembering them. That
Very
is
nice.
why I remember their names.
Very nice.
I keep recollecting them.
Very nice. Very
Otherwise,
nice.
I'll forget.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
here, this part where Miss and Mrs., I'm not very sure.
Yeah. And also because you have you said you have the culture of auntie speaking to
So, yeah,
all of-
that's
addressing
way.
them.
That's way.
Okay.
So, then I came to class 9.
Okay.
Class 9, you know, Mr. Chand was our class teacher.
Okay.
He used to teach us maths,
Uh-huh.
Mr. Chand. English in class 9 was taught by Mr. McNamara.
Okay.
VMCN.
Okay.
His initials were like that,
Okay.
Mr. McNamara.
Okay.
He was teaching English.
Okay.
Hindi was taught by Mrs. Usha Khanduri.
Okay.
Maths was taught by Major Om Prakash Trima,
Okay.
retired from RIMC.
Mm-hmm.
And that time we were studying all the subjects.
Mhm.
So history was taught by, Ma'am Butlerwhite.
Mm-hmm.
Geography was taught by Mr. Nigam. I forgot to tell you. In class 8, geography was taught by Mr. V. N. Nigam.
Acha.
Yeah,
Okay.
and he taught in 9th,
Okay.
10th, and 11th.
Okay.
So Mr. Nigam was teaching us geography.
Okay.
Then in class 9, in July, streams were given.
Okay.
So I said I want to go into humanities.
Okay.
I cannot do science. Science is not my cup of tea.
Okay.
So I, came to this humanities stream,
Uh-huh.
studied English,
Uh-huh.
Hindi,
Uh-huh.
maths, and history geography.
Okay.
These were my subjects in 9th, which I continued right up to class 10. Of course, then class 10, Mrs. Butlerwhite became my class teacher.
Okay. Wow. So first class 5.
5, then 7,
7,
then
then-
in 10. Then
Wow.
in 10. So I was very happy. Then from class 10, she taught us history.
Mm-hmm.
English was, in class 10, English was taught by Mr. Shanti Swarup.
Mm-hmm.
Hindi was taught by Mrs. Usha Khanduri.
Mm-hmm.
Maths was taught, maths, I don't remember whether I took maths or not. I'm not very sure. The maths was not my subject.
Okay. Humanities, might not be.
Nah, because it was a 11 years course.
Okay.
It wasn't ICSE, and ISE was ICSE was born in 76.
Acha.
Before that, there was no ICSE.
Okay. Okay.
There used to be All India High Secondary School conducted by CBSE,
Okay.
and there used to be Indian School Certificate Examination for 11 years. That is 9, 10th, 11.
Okay. Okay.
So Mrs. Butlerwhite was teaching history. Mr. Nigam was teaching us geography.
Mm-hmm.
English, I told you, Mr. Shanti Swarup in
Yeah.
class 10.
Okay.
Then English, maths, Hindi, Mrs. Usha Khanduri.
Yeah.
History, I've told you, Mrs.
Yeah.
Butlerwhite.
Yeah.
Geography, Mr. Nigam.
Yeah.
The economics, Mrs. Guha.
Acha.
She was teaching.
Okay.
Then I came to 11. In 11, Mrs. Butlerwhite continued this batch. She was
Uh-huh.
a class teacher.
Uh-huh.
She taught us history only. English language was taught by Mr. E.A. Tuck. He used to come
Okay.
every Tuesday and every Thursday. Tuesday in the 4th period, Thursday after break in the 5th period.
Mr. Tuck, also our ex-principal.
He used to teach us English language.
Okay. Nice.
Literature was taught by Mr. Shanti Swarup.
Acha.
Hindi by Mrs. Khanduri.
Mm-hmm.
History, Ma'am Butlerwhite.
Mm.
Geography by Mr. Nigam.
Okay.
Economics by Mrs. Guha. So this is how I completed my journey in Cambrian Hall.
Wow. So we're talking about teachers, right? Let's talk about some of your childhood memory with your students, right? With the students that you studied,
Yes.
your friends that you made. I'm going to just, while speaking to them, I got some phrases, anecdotes, whatever you call it. You will have to tell us what are these stories about. So one nickname that I've heard was Hathi Ka Anda. Second was Teli. Third was Baba Maji. And I'm going to name few of your classmates. Shiv Kumar Gurung, Nilima Gupta, Madhu Gurung,
Yes, Madhu
Ravindra Singh,
Ah.
and Jagdeep Thapa.
Yes.
So tell us about stories of your, about these
You see,
nicknames, about these.
I'm telling you, there were, you have left out some of the names.
Okay.
Anita Thapa,
Okay.
Sunita Thapa,
Okay.
Meena Chand.
Uh-huh.
These were also some of them in that group.
Okay.
Now, then Jagrati Bahuguna,
Okay.
Pragati Bahuguna,
Okay.
Neeta Prakash.
Okay.
These are then Asha Mal,
Okay.
Asha Shukla,
Mhm.
Vishwanita Sharma.
Uh-huh.
These, the whole lot were there.
Mhm.
First of all, I would like to tell you,
Mhm.
I was a very shy nature.
Okay.
That way I was very shy.
Okay.
So these girls, they used to pull me up all the times.
Okay.
एक photograph दिखाऊंगा आपको जिसमें I'm standing there. One side is Neeta Prakash, the other side is
Okay.
standing Jagrati Bahuguna.
Okay.
So when you look, what is the problem with you people? Because I'm so frightened of you. You people are always pulling me up. What is this? So they never caught hold of the other people.
Okay.
They said he's a soft target. So that way, they used to, yes, of course, they used to call some names also.
Okay.
So I didn't bother. I didn't care for that.
Okay.
It was,
so any of those phrases were called for you?
नहीं, because I used to put lot of hair, oil on my head.
Okay.
तो तब वो कहते थे that word,
Teli.
वो होता क्या था कि whenever a teacher is punishing,
हाँ.
because I remember one Mrs. Gideon,
Okay.
when I did some maths some wrong, so she used to pull me up from there and bang my head on the blackboard.
Oh wow.
In I'm telling you.
Okay.
So all that oil stamp would be there on the blackboard. उसने कहा okay, oh, what he has done.
गलत कर दिया. Done a wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
So वो एक word तो है.
Okay. There's some Hathi Kanda and all, Babaji. Not for you, but I don't know, but common between all of you.
तो but तेली तो is a common word. That तो इसलिए होता था ना, because on the blackboard वो पूरा हो जाता था.
Okay. Okay. Anything else that you remember about your friends and what did you
see?
Any mischief, any stories of that you did as a group? Although you said you seem to be a very good boy.
हाँ नहीं वो तो actually you won't believe it. When I was in KG class, in KG class I'm talking about, there used to be one sleeping period for us.
Sleeping period.
Sleeping period. तो हम लोग दरी होती थी. That दरी would be spread out, and in that दरी we used to sleep.
Okay.
तो उसमें किसको नींद आनी थी? Who was sleeping? वो तो just we were forced to sleep.
Okay.
So that time just for the sake of mischief, I with this leg, one of my I don't know, I had hit on his head, and he cried. So when he cried, said, "Ma'am, auntie, किसी ने उसको मेरे पैर पे मारा." किसने मारा? तुम कहाँ सो रहा था? तो मैं इधर सो रहा था. तुम्हारे बगल में कौन सो रहा था? तो then I was sleeping there.
Yeah.
तो he called me, सर ये सो रहा था. तो तुमने टांग मारा? Sorry auntie. उसने कहा ठीक है. You will not go home today. You will go after 10 minutes.
Oh, I thought she said you will not go to home. You'll keep sleeping.
No. That for 10 minutes I was punished.
Okay.
By the teacher.
Okay.
So एक तो वो एपिसोड है KG क्लास में जो किया. तो otherwise
you were a good boy.
No, that way I used to be.
Because whoever that I spoke to while before coming to start this conversation, so everybody said all the nice things about you.
That way,
you were very kind, you were very, very nice. All the good boy K boxes you ticked as a student.
Yeah. So no, that way I'm telling you, that was a slight mischief that took place in KG class for which I got punished. Probably that must have been example that you better be careful if you have to stay in Cambrian Hall.
Okay.
Maybe that.
Okay.
Because that it wasn't a capital punishment. It was just a punishment. When all the students have gone and I am left alone, so that put so that impression was there.
Okay.
So probably that could be one of the reasons for turning. And then I had made up my mind that in future I have to be very, very careful.
Now, because we are talking about now start of your professional career, so I'm also intrigued to know were the teachers, because what I'm very, very surprised and really happy to know is that you remember every teacher of yours starting from KG to class 11th. I don't remember. I have not come across a Cambrianite who would remember almost everyone. More so, for you, it's been an era altogether now gone. So what I wanted to know was that is it the influence of the teachers or your parents that motivated you to take up teaching as a profession?
No. Actually, what I used to see the Anglo-Indian teachers teaching in the class.
Acha.
These Anglo-Indian teachers.
Okay.
So I, that is how I drew inspiration from them.
Okay.
You know what I used to do? I used to make 4 or 5 students sit in the class during the break time. I said, you sit down and I'm going to teach you. That is how I developed for teaching.
So even as a kid, you would enact being a teacher.
Yes, I used to copy my teachers. I used to imitate them. उन्होंने जाके बोला भी teacher को. Those he does like this during the break time.
Okay.
So he said, what does he do in the break time? He sits in the class. He makes us sit and then he is trying to repeat those lines on the blackboard. So
Okay.
this is how I drew inspiration.
Okay, okay. So it was purely the teachers who inspired you to
Yeah,
take up this profession.
Yes, it is my teachers, the Anglo-Indian teachers.
Okay.
The Anglo-Indian, because most of the teachers here in Cambrian Hall were Anglo-Indians.
Yes.
See, I told you about Miss. There was a PTI, a lady PTI, Ma'am Miss Mackenzie.
Acha.
So Miss Mackenzie used to take us for PT classes.
Okay.
So this is how, you know.
Okay. Okay.
And of course, this profession I took from my Anglo-Indian teachers who taught me.
Okay.
And this is how I drew inspiration. I used to copy them. I used to keep looking at their face. I used to see how, you know, that feeling had developed.
Okay.
And then
This is a wonderful profession to be in.
Yeah, that the feeling had developed.
And you
then
looked upon
I used to copy them during the break time. During the all the children I used to be there. मैंने कहा चलो आ जाओ चारों पांच आके बैठो मैंने. तब वो कहते थे.
Okay.
That is how I.
So tell us bit about your family.
Yes, my family, I tell you. Actually, my father, you see, none of them are in
Education.
in services. All of them are
Business.
in business.
Okay.
That because I love teaching, and I get inner satisfaction when I have done my job. And I also, teaching is a noble profession. That is why I picked it up. So this is how. But
Okay.
all of my family members are in the business. You know.
Okay.
Some are in this, supplying business.
Okay.
My father was a reputed British Indian Army canteen contractor. During the Second World War, he had gone to Singapore. When country became independent, he was not in India. He was in Singapore.
Acha.
Yeah, the Britishers wanted to take him to England.
Okay.
He said no. Then he sent a telegram to my grandmother.
Uh-huh.
She said, no, you come back to India. No need for you to go to England.
Okay.
So this is how. So we all our family members are in business.
Okay. What about your children?
Yes, my children, my daughter, she joined Cambrian Hall in Stepping Stones.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So they're also a Cambrianite.
Yes. From Stepping Stones, she came here in class 3 because Cambrian Hall used to start from class 3.
Yes.
In
correct.
those days.
Same for
In-
me as well.
In my days, it used to be from
yes.
KG.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So she did her nursery, KG 1 and 2 in Stepping Stone.
Yeah.
And then, class 3, she joined Cambrian Hall.
Okay.
And
What year did she pass out?
She passed out in 98, she did ICSE, and
Okay.
2000, she passed out.
Okay.
And you will be happy to know that she also got a gold medal from late President of India, APJ Abdul Kalam.
Oh wow.
For in chemistry, MSc chemistry.
Very nice.
She's a gold medalist.
Okay.
So I had gone to Srinagar HNB University,
Acha.
Garhwal University.
Okay.
So I had to escort her, and it was a proud moment for us.
Of course. Of
to
course.
see
Of course.
my daughter receiving the honor from the president.
President of the country. Okay.
Then I want to tell you about our Hindi teacher.
Uh-huh.
I was studying class 7,
Okay.
and we were shocked to hear that the Hindi teacher is no more.
So, do you remember the
no,
name?
but we knew the location of the residence of the teacher, because we were also from that place, Gadi
Okay.
side.
Okay.
So she was also coming from the Gadi side.
Okay.
And she happened to be the sister of Kailash Sai.
Oh. Okay. Okay.
So we were associated with this family.
So which year are we talking about?
1970. तो बस उसके वो उसमें वहाँ तो we became restless. He said हम तो वो एक we had that
Relationship
affection
with
for
the-
the relationship also,
yes.
and affection for the teacher.
Okay.
तो हमने कहा कि हम तो जाएंगे, तो छुट्टी होगी 1:30 बजे तक, तब तक तो वो चली जाएगी.
And you were in class 7 or 8?
7.
7.
हाँ.
Okay.
तो यहाँ से जो था वो there was no boundary wall.
हाँ.
यहाँ बाउंड्री वॉल नहीं होती थी.
Okay.
सीधे खुले आसमान. तो बड़ा वो था. Even security guards were not there
Okay.
in those days.
Okay.
No चौकीदार, no
Okay.
security guard, nothing.
हाँ.
तो वहाँ से गए, अपने निकल गए. बैग क्लास में था.
Okay.
बैग नहीं ले गए हम.
Okay.
We just wanted to attend that
Okay.
and come back.
Okay.
तो वहाँ पर जब देखा तो सर महेंद्र सिंह स्टैंडिंग, PTI, या मिस्टर टक, मिस्टर.
So you
No,
bunked?
no, Mr. Dutre. Yes, we bunked. वो वहाँ से नाले के अंदर से घुस के निकले ना हम. हमने कहा कोई टीचर देख लेगा, कुछ होगा तो हमें मार पड़ेगी। तो वो वहाँ से निकले नाले के अंदर से। तो नाले का वो नाला काफ़ी आगे तक था। जब उस नाले के अंदर से हम निकले तो आगे जा कर के जो है वो वहाँ आगे, तब तक स्कूल विजिबल नहीं होता था। हमने कहा पहुँच गए। बस वहाँ से फिर दौड़ते दौड़ते वहाँ खड़े हो गए। तो वहाँ पर जो था उसमें पीपल वर यू नो पेइंग रिस्पेक्ट। वी ऑल्सो जस्ट स्टूड देयर और हम भी रोने लग गए। वी स्टार्टेड क्राइंग। वो देख रहे थे वहाँ पर। खैर एनीवे, फिर उसके बाद वी वर जस्ट देयर फॉर 10-15 मिनट व्हेन द मोमेंट वी सॉ मिस्टर मोहिंदर सिंह स्टैंडिंग देयर, मिस्टर Dutre standing there, and other teachers. These two I remember. जो थे और भी थे वहाँ 2-3, but we just stood there and saw. हमने देखा, हमने कहा अब तो मार पड़ेगी स्कूल में, हम तो भाग के आए हैं वहाँ से। This, you know, we are talking among ourselves.
Of course.
और फिर दौड़ के वापस आ गए। उस दिन तो कुछ नहीं बोला इन्होंने। नेक्स्ट डे असेंबली के बाद ये जब आ जाए ये बाहर बुला लिए। बुलाने के बाद कर फ्रंट रोल, हमने ये हिम्मत भी नहीं होती थी कि फ्रंट रोल क्यों हो रहे, चुपचाप से फ्रंट रोल कर लिया।
मिस्टर मोहिंदर सिंह एज अ पनिशमेंट।
यस, एज अ पनिशमेंट। आप स्कूल छोड़ के कैसे चले गए? टुमारो इफ एनीथिंग कुड हैपन ऑन द वे, द स्कूल वुड हैव गॉट इनटू ट्रबल कि बच्चे कैसे चले गए। दिस वाज इन 70। बट उसकी वो भी एक वन ऑफ द रीजन था कि फिर बाद में वी गॉट फ्राइटन्ड। यस, एंड नो इनडिसिप्लिन एक्ट शुड बी डन इन द स्कूल। तो इसलिए दैट वे इज आल्सो।
ओके, आप वो भी बात कर रहे थे एक सैड इंसिडेंट का, मिस्टर ड्यूट्रे का।
हाँ, मिस्टर ड्यूट्रे, दैट डे इट वाज रेनिंग टॉरेंशियली एंड वी वर जस्ट five boarders were there and 3 day scholars were there. Just 8 of us were there in class 8th B.
Okay.
8th B. बस उसके बाद क्या
Just
हुआ?
put things into perspective. What year are we talking? 1971 now.
71, 2nd September 1971.
Oh wow, you remember that?
2nd September. तो वो रेनफॉल तो कुछ होता ही नहीं था। वो असेंबली का तो देयर वाज नो चांस ऑफ असेंबली।
Okay.
It was raining torrentially. So we were just sitting in the class. So I don't remember who came in the first period, but I believe there nobody had come in the first period due to torrential rain. अब उसमें क्या हुआ कि suddenly there was commotion. People were running helter skelter, and I was also very curious to know. जैसे वो भागे वहाँ पर उसमें, तो वहाँ पर जब देखा तो people were talking that Mr. Dutre has collapsed. तब तक डिक्लेयर नहीं किया था।
And he was at that point of time the current principal.
He was the principal. He was sitting in his office. He was talking to his daughter Penny
wow.
Chase, and they were talking in connection with the school concert to be held in the evening.
And during that he collapsed.
Yes, during it. That was at 8:45 a.m.
Wow.
8:45. He was interacting with his daughter regarding the concert, Mrs. Penny Chase. It was then, you know, after his death, she became as acting principal for 6 months. In fact, her husband was made acting principal.
Okay.
Brian Chase was made acting principal. So that day too I can never forget in my life. Then Colonel Sashi had, closed the school for 13 days as a mark of mourning.
Wow.
In his memory.
Very unheard of.
Yes, he said the school. So we for 13 days, there
was no
closed
classes, no
school.
school.
The school remained closed as a mark of respect to his memory, because it was he who had taken this first batch to Senior Cambridge in 1968. Because he retired as a vice principal from Damatine College, Lucknow.
Okay.
And he joined Cambrian Hall.
Okay.
He replaced Miss Ma'am Mainwaring. In January, Mr. E.A. Tuck took over the charge.
Okay.
So Mr. Tuck remained here till 1980. 79. Yeah, 79, because I remember he did the Silver Jubilee of Cambrian Hall was celebrated, the Silver Leaves of Cambrian Hall in 1979.
Wow.
So Cambrian Hall had completed 25 years of its useful existence.
Nice.
So then he left.
Okay.
And then came Mr. G.W. Mayer from Frank Anthony Public School.
Okay.
So he was here for
Frank Anthony, Delhi.
Frank Anthony Public School, Delhi.
Yeah.
So he was here for a short period.
Okay.
Then he went back.
And then Mr. R.C. Singhal's era.
Yeah. Then after him, after Mr. Mayer, came Mr. Singhal. He joined Cambrian Hall in 1984.
So you're talking about your teaching
Yeah, 85.
career. So I happen to know that you had a unique relationship with Ma'am Jagbala.
Yeah.
Because you just told me that she also was your teacher, and now your colleague, and under her leadership of the in charge for the junior school.
Yes.
You taught. So tell us how was that relationship? It was a very unique
I'll
relationship.
tell you, when I joined this Cambrian Hall on 8th April 1985, the principal, Mr. Singhal, told me that you will work under Jagbala Singh. I got frightened. I got frightened. I said, because I knew about her. She was very strict.
Yeah.
And no, she was. There was no doubt about it. She was very strict and very firm. So I told, I said, sir, okay, but no, don't worry. Gradually you will learn things. Maybe because if I make some mistakes here and there, she might lose her temper. So that part I am frightened of. No. Need not to be frightened of. This is how you are going to learn. So I am making you mentally prepared. Face the challenge. And no need to be disheartened. So I said, okay, sir. So I had gone there and joined. So she was happy, but because her temper was the same.
As a student, as a teacher, for you.
Yeah. During the break time, we three of us, Mrs. Joseph, Indra Joseph, Mrs. Penuli, and myself. When we used to come from the staff room, we never used to go through this passage. We were so frightened. We used to go from this side. So one day she called us. Why do you people go from that side? Why don't you use this passage? I said, because of the fear. Because of the fear, we don't use this passage.
We thought, just the students, we were really frightened of Ma'am Jagbala.
We teachers were also frightened. I'm telling you, we were frightened.
Okay.
Anything, if in the record of workbook, if something is not filled in properly, we were pulled up. Same with the green sheet, same with the mark sheets, with the report cards, with the log book. वहाँ तो इतना डर लगता था कि अगर एक ओवर राइटिंग हो गया तो we had it. So we were very frightened. मार्क शीट पे भी अगर गलत चढ़ जाता था तो we used to ask, वो था बक्तावर.
हाँ, I remember.
Yes, बक्तावर was there. बक्तावर वहाँ से चुपचाप से एक मार्क शीट लाके दे दो, तो खराब हो गई, नहीं तो डंडे पड़ेंगे. Ma'am, we'll have a very tough time.
So now this is fascinating. We were very frightened about our mark sheet, but we didn't know our teachers are also
of course
frightened about it.
We were frightened. हम तो वहाँ से जाते ही नहीं थे. चाय पी के आते थे. First bell, they used to two bell used to ring.
Yes.
हम first bell में ही अंदर हो जाते थे. We were so frightened. Once I remember there was one fellow who happened to be my neighbor's friend. Exam चल रहे थे यहाँ. और वो वहाँ से आया. और आके इधर हुआ तो मिस जगबाला सिंह came from there. Mr. Aggarwal, examinations are going and how are you talking to me? I'm not talking to him. Ma'am, I'm not talking to him. This man stood. I said, you talk to me after 1:30. This is what I have told him. I have only told him that you talk to me after 1:30 p.m. But go away. I have not said anything to him. He just stood there and I got frightened. मुझे पता था कि वहाँ मैम जगबाला आ जाएगी. I knew about it. And I said, this man will get me into trouble. This I'm talking about 86 September, first exam.
First term.
There used to be
Correct,
three
examinations. September, December and March.
हाँ, तो ये आ गया. इसको मैंने यहीं से देख लिया था. I saw from that window. मैंने कहा, this man will get me into trouble.
And he did.
हाँ, he did that. और वो वहाँ आ गया. Exam was going on. I was invigilating. And he came there. I told, I said, please come after 1:30 p.m. I'm doing it like this. And she shouted. I said, ma'am, I've not said anything to you. I told him, I said, please go away. Please go away. Don't talk to me. Talk to me after 1:30 p.m. And then I got such a shout from her.
Oh, God. Okay.
Yeah. So that was one.
This is hilarious.
Then, when she left, she only shared with me, Mr. Aggarwal, after 31st of May 1991, I will not be coming to the school.
When she was leaving Cambrian Hall.
Yeah. So you don't disclose this to anyone.
Acha.
And just between you and me. But those 15 days, in those days, the school used to close on 15 May. He said, I want you help for 15 days, 15 May to 31st May. You have to come every day to the school. Indirectly, she was, telling me this is kept here in this almirah, record this.
She was doing the handover.
Not exactly.
Yeah.
Not a handover, but all that.
She was making you aware.
Yes. In July, when the school reopened, Miss Mehra was made as a caretaker.
Okay.
As a caretaker.
Ma'am Suman Mehra, the Hindi teacher.
Just as a caretaker for a few days.
Okay.
Then they had appointed Mr. Saklani.
Yes.
Mr. Chand Saklani,
Okay.
late Chand Saklani.
Okay.
He was appointed as a coordinator of the Judha Block. So
Mr. Saklani was also the coordinator when we were in class 7.
So then he was given all the entire charge
Okay.
to look after these classes.
Okay.
But that way, Ms. Jagbala is saying, I had learnt a lot. Although she was very firm, very strict.
Correct.
Many times, कभी-कभी तो ये feeling हो जाती थी, I must leave the job. Sometimes I used to get so
She was
tensed.
also maths teacher in class 6, if
Yeah,
I
yeah,
remember
she was
it correct.
teaching, yes.
She was very, very strict and we
Very
used to be.
systematic.
Yeah. Okay. So, so your teaching tenure roughly over 40 years now? Roughly 40 years.
You can say, you can
84,
calculate
84,
85.
yeah, exactly. We are touching 40 years now. So this is 4 decades, right?
Yeah.
I want to know from you as a teacher, how has the relationship of a teacher and a student changed and evolved, or whatever you could say?
Yeah, I'll tell you.
So,
I tell you, there's a drastic change. Drastic.
okay.
The students who had been taught by me in those days, I'm talking about your batch also.
Okay. 90s.
See, since 85
Yeah.
to 2000. In fact, till 2005, I can say,
Okay.
till 2005.
Mm-hmm.
That was a golden era for
Okay.
me. Students were very attentive.
Mm-hmm.
Students used to do their work.
Mm-hmm.
Students would pay very close attention
Mm-hmm.
to the teacher's voice.
Mm.
But I find after this 2000, you can say after 2010,
Mm-hmm.
in fact, after 2011,
Mm-hmm.
things, they started taking unlicensed liberty.
Is it because students now has a lot of distractions?
Destruction, of course. And after this COVID-19 pandemic, so they are sitting on a head. They are just not ready. They are not bothered about the studies. They are not bothered. कोई tension नहीं, कोई nothing. वो तो when I keep chasing them, only with great difficulty I get the work. ये तो homework भी नहीं दे रहे मुझे winter vacations का.
Oh.
हाँ, तो वो तो अभी मैंने इनको डेडलाइन दे रखी है. मैंने कहा भाई हुक और बाई क्रुक आई मेक यू टू वर्क. नहीं तो बैठाऊंगा 1:30 बजे के बाद. एंड आई मेक यू डू द वर्क. साम दाम दंड भेद तुम मत करो तुम, because you are not bothered. Because you see, after COVID-19 pandemic, these they had attended online classes, and they came into contact with these mobile phones and all. Parent was helpless.
Yes.
And with that, they had done so many things. So now that problem is not, I believe, is more in India than at international level.
So, as we speak about the students and you tell me about the recent ones and what has changed, but would you remember, I know it's very difficult for a teacher to ask this question, more so to somebody who spent 40 years in Cambrian Hall, but do you remember any batch students that you really thought are your favorites?
Mine?
Yeah.
Yes. That was, you passed out in which year?
96? 96.
96.
School passed out.
But both that batch, that batch of 95, 96 और एक और था batch
97.
1989.
Okay.
Yes, 89.
Okay.
Those were the batches. The batches were all very good.
Okay.
It's only now I am facing. after the COVID-19 pandemic. Very difficult.
Okay. So these 3 batches, according to you, were your favorite batches?
They were. But apart from this, there were others also.
Okay. Okay.
Others also, because you see, I never had any really, teaching these classes was a great pleasure to teach them. और बहुत अच्छा लगा.
So you also had a unique distinction that you also were the NCC in charge for more than 2 decades, right?
Yeah,
In
2.5
Cambrian
decades.
So tell us, how did that happen? A history and a geography teacher suddenly.
No, actually, when I was at the time of my appointment, they had seen my testimonial NSS.
NSS. So what does that stand for?
National Service Scheme.
Okay.
तो I told the principal, I said, sir, कहीं आपने उसको डॉक्यूमेंट में मेरा NSS को NCC तो समझ के नहीं बैठे, जिसके लिए मुझे आप इंटरव्यू के लिए बुला रहे हो.
Okay. So you were a teacher, and then
I had applied here.
Okay.
With all my academic testimonials and others.
Okay.
I said, sir, you are must be appointing me because this man has got experience of NSS, thinking that this is a part of NCC. I said, sir, NSS has nothing to do with NCC. NCC is totally a different organization, second line of defense. NSS is connected with the social service.
Yes.
So, अरे भाई रुक जाओ, मैं आज I'll go to Guru Road and talk to Colonel Sashi, and then I'll let you know.
This is Mr. R.C. Singhal said?
Yes.
Okay.
Have you given your resignation? Not as yet. No, because tomorrow I give my resignation from there, and here also I don't get. I'll be hanging in a barracks. I said, no, I have not given.
Okay. So your NSS certificate landed you into an appointment for NCC position as well.
Yes.
Okay.
So he said, अभी रुक जाओ. 3 दिन के बाद मैं आपके यहाँ वो किशन को भेजूंगा कि you have to join or not. So after 3 days, because there was no mobile, nothing, कुछ नहीं था, ये landline भी नहीं होती थी.
Correct.
So Kishan had gone there. और उन्होंने he met my father. He said, the principal has asked him to come to school at 10:30 tomorrow. So I took leave from the school. I was working in Children's Academy before joining Cambrian Hall. This Bindal.
Okay.
I came here and joined. I said, yes sir, आप बताओ sir. क्यों मैंने तो अभी resignation नहीं दिया. I have not. Sir used to be more comfortable with Hindi. तो मैंने सर मैं तो resignation दिया नहीं. But you tell me whether I should tender my resignation or not, or I should continue over there. No, I have spoken to the principal, to Colonel Sashi, the school president, and he said, not to worry, we will send him to the course for NCC, and he will train the boys here. तो मैंने कहा सर फिर मैं दे दूँ, कह रहा आप दे दो, but मैंने कहा सर first I want joining letter from you,
okay,
so that
you're confident that you can leave the job.
I can tender my resignation. Otherwise that feeling will be, don't worry, I'm telling you. You will get the appointment letter, and I'm asking you, you tender your resignation, and your job is secured. I said, then fine. I went there. Then Prem Kashyap, the principal, he got same like Dr. Shyam Ganguly and Lalit Mohan got angry. He also got angry. He said, this is not fit.
Okay.
Why are you going back? And sir, I'm going back to my alma mater. He said, पहले क्यों नहीं चले गए आप? मेरे पहले वैकेंसी नहीं थी.
अच्छा.
तो अब वैकेंसी होगी तो I'm going.
Okay.
So with great regret, 350 rupees was my security. 350 rupees was my security with him.
Okay.
In those days
As
security had to be deposited.
Okay.
That was in 84.
अच्छा.
नहीं तो ऐसे नहीं मिलता ना. तो 350 रुपए मैंने जमा करा दिए. अब जब मैं वहाँ गया मैंने सर I need my security. तो वही हेजिटेशन रिलक्टेंस तो कि मैंने कहा कोई बात नहीं, मैंने आई सेंड सेठ लक्ष्मण दास बिरमानी, तो ही विल कलेक्ट द.
Who is that? Was it a random name that you gave?
He happened to be owner of this Krishna Palace and Prabhat Takis.
Not your lawyer, but he said.
I said, sir, वो ले जा देंगे, वो क्योंकि नज़दीक ही रहते हैं, so they will come and collect my security. And he said, नहीं, कि उनको भेजने की ज़रूरत नहीं है आपको, अगले हफ्ते आप आ जाना, आपका चेक बना देंगे 350 रुपये का, आप ले जा लेना। दिस इज व्हाट आई वांटेड। तो after 1 week I had gone there, I took permission from sir. I said, sir, I'm too good. Said, why do you have to go? I said, my security is there. Said, security भी लेते हैं क्या? हम तो नहीं लेते।
Can we start here?
He said, अब ट्रूथ तो बोलना ही था ना, तभी तो मिलेगी। कह रहे हम तो नहीं लेते। I kept quiet. मैंने कोई जवाब नहीं दिया। मैंने वहाँ लेते हैं सर, तो वो लेने जा रहा हूँ। कह रहे जाओ। तो I had a Lambretta. तो Lambretta ड्राइव करते हुए गया मैं to बिंदाल Children's Academy. From there I brought my सिक्योरिटी। वो चेक था, तो जिस सेंट्रल बैंक ऑफ इंडिया एक्सटेंशन काउंटर होता था, तो वो उसमें जमा करा दिया। एंड दैट चेक वाज इन दोज डेज देयर यूज्ड टू बी न्यू बैंक ऑफ इंडिया। अच्छा, अब तो मर्ज हो गया वो विद बैंक ऑफ इंडिया, वो वाला चेक।
Sir, tell us about the NCC experience with the students.
तो करने से शी टोल्ड मी कि उन्होंने कहा आप जा सकते हैं, और वो ठीक है, वहाँ भी हो गया, इधर हो गया। देन आई वाज गिवन द चार्ज एज अ केयर टेकर।
ओके,
केयर टेकर जाता तो आई यूज टू गेट 50 रुपीज पर मंथ एज एन ऑनरेरियम फ्रॉम 29 उत्तर प्रदेश बटालियन एनसीसी। इट यूज टू बी यूपी।
अच्छा,
उत्तराखंड तो बनाना।
ओके, करेक्ट।
The world runs on digital conversations, and we enable simple, secure, and fast digital conversations for credit unions and community banks with our AI-powered unified platform, trusted by 600 plus community financial institutions, to communicate seamlessly across multiple channels from a single window. Interested to know more? Visit eltrapy.com today.
तो आई यूज टू ट्रेन द बॉयज। अब आता ही नहीं था कुछ, तो आई टोल्ड द उस्ताद, मैंने देखो उस्ताद जी, मैंने तो स्कूल को पहले साफ बता रखा है, मैं कभी एनसीसी कैडेट नहीं रहा। अब ये बच्चों की किसी की टोपी टेढ़ी होती है, किसी का बैच सीधा होता है, ये आपने देखना है। एक बार मुझे सिखा दो, फिर तो मैं देख लूंगा।
So this उस्ताद is the caretaker.
उस्ताद वो बटालियन से पीआई स्टाफ।
अच्छा, वो भी आपके साथ आते थे?
वो आते थे ट्वाइस अ वीक।
ओके,
ट्वाइस अ वीक टू ट्रेन द बॉयज।
अच्छा।
और मैं भी बहुत आई यूज्ड टू बी वेरी कीन ऑब्जर्वर हाउ थिंग्स वर गोइंग, सो दैट आई डोंट डिपेंड ऑन देम, आई कैन ट्रेन माय बॉयज। तो मैं गया, वो कहने आप चिंता ना करो साहब, आप देखते रहो, अभी तो आपने ज्वाइन किया है 5-6 महीने। तो जुलाई के महीने में, अप्रैल में शुरू हुई, मई, फिर समर वेकेशन, जुलाई में अगेन एनसीसी स्टार्टेड ट्वाइस अ वीक। तो उस्ताद यूज्ड टू कम, मैंने कहा साहब यू टेल मी, पहले ये तो बताओ बैरेट कैप के क्या पोजीशन होनी चाहिए, कहाँ होनी चाहिए, कितना ये होना चाहिए, टाइटल शोल्डर्स, ऑल दिस, योर वेब बेल्ट, योर चेस्ट रेड, ये तो सब टेक्निकल चीज तो बताओ। 15 अगस्त की परेड आ रही है 1 महीने बाद, वहाँ चीफ गेस्ट आएगा, वो कहेगा कौन है ये इसका केयरटेकर हो या कुछ हो, ठीक है अभी मैं वर्दी नहीं पहन रहा हूँ क्योंकि आई एम नॉट एंटाइटल्ड फॉर दैट, करेक्ट, तो मुझे कम से कम होना तो चाहिए, आई विल बी पुल्ड अप, मैनेजमेंट आएगा, कुछ तो दिखाना है मैंने। तो कह रहे साहब आप बच्चों को बोलो कि कल यूनिफॉर्म में आ जाए। तो ठीक है, दे केम इन यूनिफॉर्म। अब कह रहे साहब आप चेक करो इस बच्चे के टोपी से ये, मैंने साहब मैं तो जानता ही नहीं मुझे तो पता ही नहीं, अब आप डेमो दो ना मुझे, आप डेमो दो कि कैप का क्या पोजीशन होना चाहिए। यू गिव मी द डेमो, वेयर शुड बी द चेस्ट, वेयर द टाइटल शोल्डर, वेयर शुड बी द दैट साइन एनसीसी वाला एंड बेल्ट, और ये आप मुझे दो, एक मुझे आप बना के दे दो, मैं फिर तो चेक कर लूंगा। तब उन्होंने बताया, ही टॉट मी एंड आई वाज आल्सो कीन लर्नर। बट फिर उसके बाद देन आई यूज्ड टू गेट द यूनिफॉर्म, डिस्ट्रीब्यूट देम, ट्रेन करता था। आई यूज्ड टू टेल देम इसको ऐसे करना है एंड यू हैव टू वेयर दिस यूनिफॉर्म लाइक दिस, एंड दिस कंटिन्यूड फॉर अ ईयर। देन आई वाज सेंट बाय द स्कूल टू you know, they had sent a concern letter to the battalion that we will spare our NCC part-time officer for the course, and during this period the part-time officer will be given his full pay. इन्होंने ये मैंने बोल दिया था, मैंने प्लीज मैंने कहा सब तनख्वाह मत काट देना मेरी, करने नहीं क्योंकि मैं 3 महीना रहूंगा नहीं। मैंने कहा पता है स्कूल है डिप्राइव्ड मी, कहने नो 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 दैट वी कांट डू। फिर मैंने बटालियन के सीईओ से पूछा, मैंने सर क्या होगा, मैं तो वहाँ चला जाऊंगा, 3 महीने मेरी तनख्वाह कौन देगा? कह रहा आपका स्कूल देगा। Okay. Your school will pay.
You got it verified 2 places.
मैंने कहा this is NCC Act and Rules में है। मैंने सर एक कॉपी दे दो मुझे, so that I can no, you just need not to worry. Okay. I'll just give a verbal call to your principal. Okay. And I tell him as per NCC Act and Rules, the part-time officer who is going for the course is entitled for full salary और उसको समर वेकेशन भी मिलेगी। मैंने सर मुझे कोई बात नहीं, समर वेकेशन मत देना, मुझे नहीं चाहिए, पर तनख्वाह मिल जाए। ठीक। So that's how. Okay. here in, I don't want to name those colleagues, कुछ तो ऊपर चले गए.
Okay.
In 1985,
Ah.
this man will come back in 15 days from NCC OTS
Acha, acha,
County.
They thought you won't be able to survive.
Yes.
Okay.
At 4 o'clock, you have to get up. You have to go for the military training.
Okay.
You have to go. You have to do this and that. This
There's a
man
lot of
will
discipline
not,
required.
Yes.
So they thought you won't be able to survive that training.
This man will come back within 15 days. Forget about 390 days.
Ah.
I said, Jagbala told me. मुझे नहीं पता था. It's when I came here, Ma'am Jagbala told me. That people were talking like this about you. I said, who are those? No, I won't tell you the names. I won't tell you the name, but yeah. But I'm happy that you have done your course successfully and you have got 1 star on your shoulder. So I was 3rd officer. So this is how I continue.
Very nice.
After 3 years, I was entitled for another part-time refresher JD Part 1 course.
Okay.
Mr. Singhal did not send me. He said no. यहाँ कौन देखेगा classroom? I just kept. Every time they used to write letter, and we cannot spare the NCC officer. So 89 में नहीं भेजा, 90 नहीं भेजा, 91, 92, 93. In 94 they said they sent a strong letter to the office. कहने के your NCC will be disbanded.
Oh.
And you have to, when NCC will be withdrawn from your school, if you don't spare the ANO for the refresher JD Part 1.
Okay.
तब मैं refresher JD Part 1 करने के लिए under forced circumstances I was sent to County. Achha, this course was done so late. My Part 2 was also close by. So in 92 I did RJD Part 2. 94.
Okay.
92 RJD Part 1. 94 RJD Part 2.
Okay.
Then after, and my father, you know, I tell you, he used to tell me that I am alive. Do as many courses you can. I am there to look after your wife and your children. But you just go.
Very nice.
After my death, you cannot go. Unfortunately, in 1996, in that Amarnath tragedy, while coming from there, he perished.
Oh.
So
Sorry.
my course was due in 2001.
Achha.
I could not go. So I just said, due to my personal problems, I cannot go. So that course I have missed, which was designated as chief officer. So I retired from NCC as a 1st officer.
Okay.
3rd officer rank 86, 2nd officer 1992,
Okay.
1st officer 1994.
Okay. So is NCC still part of?
Till 2011, it was here. After 2012, because I had attained the age of superannuation, they said no.
So there is. So you did not train anybody else?
No, after 2012, so there was no one.
Oh.
Achha, and also let me tell you, Government of India had said that all the private institutions will have NCC. Expenditure will be borne by them.
By the school itself?
Yes, independent schools.
Achha, achha.
Schools which are not.
That could have been the reason that withdrawn.
That was also one of the reasons. So I had given them the budget to Guru Road, and then you can understand. Because in that case, they had to pay honorarium to the NCC in charge. They had to bear the expenses of the camp. They had to bear the expenses of the uniform. They had.
But you think that course NCC was really good? It inculcated a lot of good stuff to students.
No, why not?
Yes.
NCC, its motto is unity and discipline. It was teaching discipline to the students. And NCC, you know, once you pass out from NCC, it has a different identity. Because the child knows, he knows, in every aspect of discipline, he lives a very good life.
So tell us your current role in Cambrian Hall. I know you were earlier also in charge of the junior school. Now
Yes,
you are not. But
actually,
what is your?
You know, I was least interested in taking over the charge of the junior division of this Judha Block. They knew. Mrs. Mohan said, "KK को बताओगे तो लेगा नहीं."
अच्छा.
They knew about me. They knew about my temperament. I had gone to Bangalore to get my son admitted.
Okay.
So people were here congratulating me. I said, "What for?" मैंने भाई क्या हो गया? बच्चे तो सभी जाते हैं. कहने नहीं बच्चे नहीं, अब तो you have to sit on this chair. I said, "Which chair?" So they sitting on this chair. After 4 months, I got blood pressure.
Oh God.
BP, because majority of the teachers were female, and I was so frightened. I said, "How will I take work from them?"
Now first you are frightened with the headmaster itself. Now you are becoming headmaster. You are frightened of the teacher.
Not There were just 3 male teachers.
Okay. Yeah.
One was Mr. J.S. Thapa, Mr. Bhushan,
Acha.
and one was Mr. Bhushan was in charge of the library.
Yeah.
You know, you have seen him.
Yes. Yes.
Hockey player.
Yes.
So one was Mr. Bhushan.
Yeah.
Then one was the PTI, junior PTI, and one was the singing teacher. तो मैंने कहा 3 है. ये इनसे मैं what can I do? The majority of them are lady teachers, and I have my limitations also. Had I been a lady teacher, of course I could have shouted, gone to that extent, and continued. I said, how long I am going to sit on the headmistress post? No, headmistress.
Acha.
So, this post, I am working as an headmistress there. How long I have to sit over there? So, baby, Ma'am Amrita Rana, what do you mean? I spoke. I had gone to a lecture theatre. I said, ma'am, one problem. What? I said, how long I will sit on that headmistress post? What do you mean? Just carry on. Nobody listened to me. Mr. Single, karte raho. Then, Mr. Dr. Byala, I spoke to him. कह रहे अग्रवाल जी इतना आसान थोड़ी ना होता है. इसमें जब कोई टीचर मिलेगा तभी तो आपको उसमें करेंगे. तो सच अब मुझे ये बताइए आप कि अब मैं कब तक करूँ. अभी किए जाओ, हम देख रहे हैं. तो at last in 2011.
Okay.
Yeah, I was relieved from there. Okay. No, not 11. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So 11 and a half years I had worked here in this den.
In this den?
Yeah. I was so frightened. And of course it was so difficult.
And you continued to teach?
Substitution. Yes, I was.
And you continued to teach history and geography?
Yeah, geography.
What about the current role?
Now I'm teaching these classes 8th, 9th and 10th.
And what subjects, sir?
Geography.
Okay. So you now teach the senior school?
Yes, senior school, and I'm very happy.
Okay.
I'm very, very happy.
Okay.
Since I was relieved from here, from the post of the coordinator, and I'm very delighted. Very delighted.
When you say delighted, and we are almost coming towards the end of our conversation, I cannot leave without asking the most popular phrases. Pull up your socks, and exams are knocking your doors.
Yes,
so I need to know, sir, who coined these phrases, and were they original phrases of yours?
No, not at all. I used to read from the books.
Okay.
I used to read, like I've just told you, this is not my cup of tea.
Okay.
So those idioms, phrases, all these,
Okay.
I used to study from the grammar book.
Okay.
Ran and Martin.
Okay.
From there, I had learned these. And even today also.
And they've become your identity now.
Yeah. And even today I'm using. I tell the students.
Okay. So when we are talking this, I have to tell you about this story. So this was class 6. So you pulled up one of our students, not so bright. I won't name the boy.
No.
And you said, XYZ, you don't know anything. Pull up your socks. So poor guy didn't know. He actually went down and pulled his socks.
Yes.
So, and I don't think we can ever forget that.
Yes, you are absolutely right.
So, does it happen very often with you?
Yes, here also.
But you still continue to use
yes,
those phrases?
Yes, I still continue. There are 1 or 2 students in class 9. I said, pull up your socks. So he bent down and said, so you only told me to pull up the socks. I said, look, your English teacher, you don't do phrases. You don't do idioms.
Okay.
There are so many words.
Okay.
You turn over a new leaf.
Yeah.
Life is not a bed of roses. Have you not heard of these? So, I said, sir, I thought that you are asking me to pull up my socks. I said, no, please pull up your socks here means you work harder.
So I must tell you, I just simply enjoyed this conversation. Although I found it very difficult while I was talking to your batchmates, teachers, etc., etc. All of them said very, very nice thing, but when I felt that you were not very keen or reluctant.
You understood, right?
Yeah. So, but I have really enjoyed having this conversation. I'm sure all the Cambrianites who will listen to this will enjoy the history of Cambrian Hall, the teachers and the students.
Yeah.
And before I let you go, any message that you have for Cambrianites all across the world who will be listening and watching this, any message for them?
You see, till my last breath, I will remember all my students who have been taught by me since 1985 till the present times. I don't know for how long I will continue because I am also in my evening walk. You understood?
Yes.
So I am very delighted. And when I meet my ex-Cambrianites, when I meet my Cambrianites, sir, I am in so and so place, my heart is overwhelmed with joy. I feel so delighted. So I'm really very proud. And this is also one of the reasons why I came back to Cambrian Hall. This is also one of the reasons. Though I had faced some unpleasant situations, which I'm not going to throw light, but I came back when I got an opportunity because my love as a student and the ambience, the environment, Cambrian Hall. So that motivated me to come again and enjoy. And I love teaching. I tell you one thing.
That comes across very strongly, sir.
I love teaching. I remember, I'll just tell you once. 1 year, Dr. Byala had not given me the class. I said, sir, I'll forget teaching. You're not going to give me the class?
Okay.
And
he said, just look after the administration part.
Yeah, you just look after, you go off first floor, ground floor, upstairs, this here, that. I said, so sir, you are not giving me, give me at least 2 periods in a day to teach. Rest of the administration to work, I'll see. But you are not giving me even 2 periods to teach. So I'll forget teaching. He said, no. You won't believe it. I said, okay. Then those substitution periods, I never used to ask teachers. At least 2 periods I used to keep those substitution for me.
Okay.
And I used to keep in touch with the children.
That was a love for
So, Aggarwal
teaching.
ji, aap kahan the? I got a call. He wanted to talk to me. I said, sir, I was in the class. आपका तो कहीं टाइम टेबल में कहीं पीरियड आपको तो दिया ही नहीं है. Then I just looked up a story. I said, sir, that teacher was not keeping well. So I had put her on substitution. But because she was not keeping well, then so many teachers were on leave. So I had no other choice. So just to help it out, I had gone and sat in the class. लेकिन कोशिश आप करिए, टीचर्स को भेजिए सब्स्टिट्यूशन में आप मत जाइए. मैंने ठीक है सर, नेक्स्ट टाइम आई विल नॉट गो. देन आई यूज्ड टू टेल सरस्वती, अगर सर का फोन आता है कहाँ है, ये मत बोलना कि क्लास में है. माय पियोन ना, ये मत बोलना क्लास में. अरे सर अभी आ रहे हैं वॉशरूम से. So that is how. But then I kept in touch with my children. When I can't. Then when the new timetable, new session had come, I told sir, I said मैं उस condition में coordinator करूँगा, coordinatorship. You have to give me a class.
Okay.
Because I love teaching. Neither my purpose is defeated. So then he gave me.
Thank you very much once again, sir.
It was my great pleasure. ये तो मुझे लग भी रहा है कि I'm sitting in Cambrian Hall. I'm sitting in front of the Judha Block. It was really a wonderful experience with you.
Thank you very much, sir. Pleasure is all mine.
And once again, I express my deep sense of gratitude to you for showering that honor and respect on me.
Thank you.
No other child will do this. I'm really very proud of you. I salute you.
Thank you, sir.
You are a wonderful boy.
Thank you very much, sir.